Welcome back, wild ones. It's Cypris. Today's tea flavor is a little stronger than usual. It's that time of year again. Time for the holiday designed to make single people feel like unwanted failures. But I'm here to commiserate with you and to point out that it could be much worse. You could actually be in a relationship and expected to celebrate this holiday as if you live with the love of your life. When in reality, you both settled and young love has ripened into mutual tolerance, which then finally ages into permanent bitter resentment. If that's the case, then good for you! You're living the dream. Like most people, I too once aspired to such a Russian roulette of cohabitational bliss. But it was just not meant to be. And I quit entirely the masochistic self-flagellation of dating well over 10 years ago. And buckle up, because you're about to hear why. Actually, it's a very long, very not pleasant story, so today we're just going to stick to some less dark, absurd highlights. I expect that this will help illuminate part of why I'm so misanthropic, as well as give us all a little chuckle to help ease our grief. Because, except for those rare couples who are actually still into each other's company, the only appropriate way to celebrate Valentine's Day is by mourning our own personal, abysmal journeys, searching for love within a planet-sized smog of apathy and false seeming. So in the spirit of the holiday, and in the hopes that we can all commiserate together, I'm going to share 3 of my own train wreck dating moments, while treating myself to some confectionery delights. In fact, let's just boost my confidence with a little chocolate mousse. Nothing says, "No, really, you matter," like a complicated dessert with outrageous prep times. Now, these examples I'll be sharing with you are really embarrassing for me. My entire dating history is one long, mortifying thread of cringeworthiness. Because as much as these guys make themselves look bad, at the end of the day, I was the nincompoop who thought it was a reasonable idea to go out with them in the first place. I've paid dearly for having faith in men who didn't earn it first. And I'm sure we all have similar stories. I certainly don't have a monopoly on the assholes of the world, after all. And if we can't laugh at our own bad choices, we'll have to cry. So, here's to bad dates. For without them, we might foolishly end our singlehood. And woe be to anyone who falls prey to that snare. Okay, bad date number 1. We'll call him Teacup Tantrum Timmy. I've always loved ice cream. But ice cream was almost ruined for me one dark and snowy night. So, Timmy had the annoying habit of falling asleep on the couch, body akimbo, until 3 or 4 in the morning. So I get stuck in a upright seated position, trapped under his legs until the cock crowed. Or I could just worm my way out from under his dead weight and go to bed by myself. Okay, fine. Trouble is, it was the middle of winter, and Timmy lives in this very large, very old Victorian house, and he does not like to pay to heat it. And I don't mean it was a chilly 60 degrees. I mean there were icicles inside the house. Icicles. Icicles. So, reasonably, I was concerned that if I did manage to fall asleep, I might not wake up. I couldn't just drive home because I'd had a few. Again, not real bright here. So, what is a girl to do to not freeze to death? Well, there was a gas fireplace in the bedroom. So I figure out how to get that thing working and I crank that puppy up. Eventually, it was warm enough that I was able to fall asleep. But in the wee hours, I was jolted awake by a very angry man. He was lit only by the glow of the fireplace. And yelling and screaming at me for turning the gas on. It cost money. He was furious and lectured me and threatened me for a good 10 minutes or so. I was probably actually in a little bit of danger, but it was very hard to take him seriously because here's the thing. When he had woken up, I guess he wanted a snack because he had gotten himself some ice cream. But there were no clean bowls or spoons. He was towering over me, frantic, enraged, and holding his ice cream in a dainty little teacup. Eating it with his finger. In between, screaming at me. Yes, a little teacup, like you'd see in your grandmother's china hut. With his finger! So, the takeaway here, if you can't keep your house at a survivable temperature, you're not in a position to have anyone over. And I find that ice cream is best eaten with a fancy spoon. Inside a building heated to above freezing temperatures. Okay, moving on to bad date number 2. Ooh, look at these chocolates. They look so delightful, don't they? But as we know, dating is a lot like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get until you see inside. This next guy I went out with was much the same way. He seemed like, you know, not an axe murderer. Until I saw his home. Okay, maybe not an axe murderer, but it skeezed me out. So I went over to watch a movie at his place. But when I walked into his apartment for the first time, I was immediately assaulted by the starkness of the place. It was all bare, beige walls. No life. Almost no furniture except for the couch and the television. You could still smell the landlord's cleaning products from in between tenants. It was, in every respect, the stereotypical crash pad of a man who has been recently kicked out by his wife. This was no home. This was no bachelor pad geared toward wooing chicks. Nay, nay. This was a grief hostel. As I acclimated to the space, as much as one can, I realized that the only pictures he had in his entire place was a gallery wall that he could stare at from his couch. And every single image was a family photo. I don't mean pictures of his kids. I mean the standard family portrait. Mom, Dad, the kids, all stiff in their Sunday best against a mottled background. The only decorating he'd done in his entire place was an homage to his family pre-breakup. And then he wanted to get on with the chill part of Netflix and chill. Nope. 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 I will not get spicy with you while your not yet ex-wife stares down at us from your shrine wall. I raced out of there as soon as that movie was over. What is it with men looking for a new gal before the divorce is even final? Clean up your shit first, and actually be living in your space before you have friends over. Don't expect some poor gal you've just met to fill that gaping black hole in your soul that you'd still rather fill back up with your wife. Ooh, the chocolates are so much better than dating. At least with the chocolates, the ingredients are listed right on the packaging. And for our last bad date story, we're gonna need some Cheerios. So, Cheerio Charlie was a man who had a very special appetite for his Cheerios. Oh, oh, oh. And please just go with me on this metaphor here. I do have younger viewers, and I'd like to keep things more or less family friendly. So, Charlie was unusual, because while everyone enjoys Cheerios, I mean, who doesn't? But the little O's start out nice and firm and crunchy, and before you know it, they're just soggy and floppy from the milk. But Charlie could enjoy his Cheerios even after the milk got into them, and even after they were soft and mealy, less than fresh, and honestly, completely unappetizing. And he would just keep eating those Cheerios. More. More. And more. He was pretty much insatiable. And that's great, right? I mean, who doesn't want to enjoy Cheerios that much? But see, I was the one serving him breakfast. I just had to keep pouring out more Cheerios for him. All morning long. Another bowl. Another bowl. Another bowl. Hun, you sure that milk hasn't been out of the fridge too long? No? Okay. And, you know, normally I would never complain about somebody having a special gift for appreciating Cheerios like that. Even after they were floppy and milk-clogged. But, for reasons that remain a mystery, Charlie never really seemed to understand that I, too, might like to have some Cheerios. I mean, sure, I do have my own box, but one does weary of eating one's own Cheerios all the time. It would have been really nice if he had offered to give me some once in a while. So, I've learned to appreciate just keeping my own stash of cereal. Heck, without having to spend everything on feeding someone else, I can afford to splurge on different flavors of cereal, even the occasional box of Trix. Well, I suppose that is enough airing of dating grievances for one day. I hope that in sharing my own abysmal choices in romantic interests, that I've made you feel a little bit better about your own regrets and embarrassing exes. This is just the tip of the iceberg of my humiliating and frankly usually dangerous dating and relationship experiences, which eventually just convinced me to give up on the whole thing entirely. For more than a decade now, I've kept myself out of that brackish, turgid dating pool. But Cypris, you might say, don't give up! Don't you want to have love and romance in your life? I mean, sure, who doesn't? I'd also love to be able to fly, grow a money tree, and have a unicorn in a magical forest that I can pet and ride whenever I like. But frankly, out of the lot of them, the unicorn is a whole heck of a lot more likely. Thanks for your commiseration in this loathsome season. Hang in there, stock up on the tea, and try to stay away from the conversation hearts. They're super cheesy. Until next time, keep it wild. And try to keep it single. It's okay, I'm done. You can step on them now. Yeah. Don't do it. Hun, I need to film and I can't be watching you not get burned. Today we're just going to stick to... Get off the Cheerios, babe. Off the Cheerios! Off, 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 off. Thank you. No, dude, I need that. We'll kill... Is it good? Do you like the ice cream? Hey, that's my ice cream, dude. Don't eat right out of the container. Eat with a fancy spoon. Ah! Are you interested in Cheerios? You want some? Oh. What the heck? Why are somebody shaped like hearts? What have I missed? When did that happen? They're not O's if they're hearts. This is problematic. Can you move? Thank you. Okay, you know what? This can go over here. Cheerios going everywhere. Pretty much. No. Oh, God. Yeah, just lay there. That's okay. Babe, I need that. That is necessary. This is just the tip. This is just the tip. This is just the tip. Money tree. And to have a... I'd also love to... Out of the lot, the unicorn.
Who's gonna pay for that? Who's gonna pay for that?
Keep eating those Cheerios. You're getting my shot, babe. Just don't get burned. Come on. Make a decision, honey. Okay. Ugh.
Hi.
Where's my armhole? Where is my armhole? There we go. Hey, 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 don't stand on that. Dude, oh my god.
Cost me money and I'm gonna... Who's gonna pay for that? Who the fuck is gonna pay for that? Who? Not me!